Do you hear voices?
I hear your voice now.
Jerry, kill me.
Disembodied voices.
Are you gonna kill someone else? Not really.
You're so mysterious.
Getting to describe it to people and say, like, that I'm a severed head in it and that the cat and the dog talk.
Heal.
And Jesus dances with us all at the end. I read a lot of scripts and I don't read many like this.
Find someone else. Kill them. And you'll discover what it feels like to be truly alive.
I thought it was so original, like nothing I'd ever read.
Cat made me do it.
Your cat made you.
I loved the idea of being a head in a fridge.
Jerry.
The surreal aspect of that.
It's a movie that has some real head and heart to it. So it makes you think and really makes you feel.
The movie is the blackest of black comedies, so there's a lot of, I think, unexpected laughter in the film, too. It's definitely an interesting character piece.
You're a killer.
God,
A serial
I
killer.
don't want to be a killer.
Too late, shitbag. There's no turning back. You're a stone-cold murdering maniac.
It's not a genre movie. It's not a comedy. It's not a drama. It is a Marjane Satrapi movie.
Tonally, the movie has a very singular voice from Marjane as the filmmaker and through Michael Perry as the writer.
When I read the script, I didn't know what was going to happen next, and that was something that was very interesting to me.
The idea for the voices came when I was working on a television show. Our consultants were the behavioral profiling unit of the FBI, the Silence of the Lambs FBI agents. I said, how do you catch a serial killer who has no apparent motive? They said, to catch a killer like this, we have to find out what the movie is in that guy's head.
Tally-ho, Jerry. Fiona, you're back. Quite. And jolly well high time.
If we know what movie he thinks he's in, we can catch him. I said, I want to see that movie. And that was the birth of the voices.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think what makes it so fascinating to us is it's taking a really scary psychological thriller with comedic elements to it. Really play with those themes as a thriller, but yet add to it this unique voice.
It's not a genre movie, it's many movies in one movie. The biggest challenge is that actually you have a killer, you have a serial killer, and you have to have empathy and sympathy for him. My biggest challenge is to make Jerry lovable. No matter what he does, we still have to be able to love this guy until the end.
Oh, God.
What can I do to make you more comfortable?
It's a movie in which we get to be inside the mind of a guy who's contemplating doing terrible things and even identify with him, while at the same time never excusing his behavior.
Oh, God, how did that happen?
He is actually schizophrenic. He wants to be good, but that his bad side of him will also talk to him.
You wanted to kill her? Never. Why'd you take the knife then? Oh, my God.
He strives to be a good person, and he sort of walks that thin line between protagonist and antagonist in the movie, but Jerry's his own worst enemy more than anything.
I try to be good, but then certain horrible things happen, and I'm filled with terror and dread standing outside of myself.
Ryan Reynolds playing Jerry does a perfect job of making it so that you see his charm and his personality that people want to get to know and like, and he could also show a dark side.
Ryan was our first choice, and we're so lucky that he said yes, and he so resonated with the piece, and he so resonated with the character.
I walk over to the other bench with them, I sit down, I head my hands.
Exactly,
And then I eventually say, Fiona, what do you think I should do?
I think I do 5 characters in the movie.
Shut up, Cap.
Jerry. That's always interesting, you know? It's always tough to take yourself out of those characters as much as possible and put something new in.
Well, a cat, it can talk and reason, that's a miracle for the ages. But a guy who talks to his cat, well, that's just one step away from the loony bin.
And I also am attracted to duality. You know, I like the idea that Jerry has these dueling natures.
It's better than sex. He is wrong. We're not like the pussy, Jerry. We have morals.
Ultimately, Jerry winds up making some mistakes and winds up killing people along the way. And from that process, You learn about the devil in him, which is his cat, and the angel in him, which is his dog.
Pretty bad situation, buddy. I know.
The dog is Bosco, and he's the friendly type who's telling him to do what a nice roommate would tell you to do and give you support and brotherly advice.
Maybe the best thing to do is just go to the cops and explain everything.
Just tell him what happened.
Yeah.
Bosco sort of sounds a bit like a somewhat dim Southern gentleman.
Pretty complicated inside the human mind, huh?
The cat is sort of a dick, and he is the type of person that just really wants you to do bad things and just like looking at the dark side of everything.
You are both so fucking naive. You go to the cops, you say, hey man, I accidentally stabbed that English chick. Oh. You think I'll all nod and understand the way your stupid dog does?
I don't know. These are the dueling natures of Jerry. He listens to each of them, you know. I don't think he likes the cat, Mr. Whiskers particularly, but Mr. Whiskers serves a purpose in his life, and Jerry's warped mind keeps him safe.
Okay, all right. Devil's advocate. Can I get a name, man? Let's say it was me, but you know that I'm a talking cat. Everything I say is really you.
It's true, buddy. It's all you.
What? Come on, Jerry. You know that.
Your pets are spot on, Jerry.
So he's a guy who's really emotionally detached from society. At the same point in time, he doesn't want to be, so he's a very conflicted character.
Look, I know what is good. I know. I want to lead a righteous and just life. I want to be an upstanding member of the community. But, Mr. Whiskers, he makes me do bad things.
The cat was nowhere near when you killed me, Jerry.
See? Thank you, Ladyhead.
I play Fiona. She's an English girl that moved to Milton, and she's working at the factory with Jerry and Lisa and Alison.
You said I should come by accounting sometime.
I did. I wanted to make sure that we believed why Fiona was living in this country and that she had no friends and she's sort of lost.
After I've sold everything and moved, that's when the knobhead decides that he's not the marrying type.
Aww.
Yeah, 6 months later, he marries Jill. Now they've got 3 kids and I'm stuck in this stupid temp job. I think it's time to move back home.
I wanted her to be a bit of a kind of tacky English woman, you know, likes drinking a bit too much. She's a bit of a lush, as we say in England. She meets Jerry and he sort of falls in love with her. And at first she thinks that he's just this kind of strange, sweet guy.
Fiona! I'm sorry if I hurt you.
Look what you did to me.
I'm so sorry.
Friday I had a pretty cushy gig. Had lots of friends, I was the office hottie. Now I'm a severed head in a fridge. Sucks to be me, Jerry.
I sort of convinced him to kill somebody else in order for me to have company in the fridge.
Hey, Jerry. Jerry, can you get me a friend?
A friend?
I get so lonely in the fridge.
It's really good fun though. I love doing all this stuff in the fridge. It's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to do the movie, because it's so surreal, you know. Being in the fridge, you know, and not being able to move, because I'm such an expressive person. I always do move my head around, and I had to really practice sort of Japanese style of acting, you know, just very still. That was quite tricky.
I think it's time to see if the cat knows what he's talking about.
She's right. I totally agree.
Well, me out of that.
It's interesting and it's fun to go back and forth between Lisa just being normal and then kind of Lisa in Jerry's mind. You know, when I'm the head in the fridge and at the end in the kind of dream sequence and we're dancing. We're all kind of glorified versions of ourselves through Jerry's eyes, and that's really fun. The first thing for me was always Marjan. I'm such a big fan of Persepolis, and before I even read the script, I called my agent back after they sent it to me to ask if it was really happening, if she was really making like an English language live feature. I was so excited.
Action.
Marjan was one of the big attractions. She has this sensitivity to her, but also she makes everybody around her feel the best that they can possibly feel. She creates this place of joy, even on a really hard scene or something that's horrific or very emotional.
I'm not gonna hurt you. No, I'm not gonna hurt you. It's fine. That's fine.
When we were looking for a director for the voices, we wanted someone with a unique vision. And we were very lucky to get her because I know that in Hollywood, she's been offered many films. And I believe this is probably the first time she had read a script that she didn't write herself, that she really wanted to direct.
I think I would have done it no matter what, because I think she's such a genius. But then the script was so cool. I mean, it's so bizarre.
I know karate.
She comes out of a graphic novel background. She, of course, was nominated for an Academy Award for Persepolis, based on one of her own graphic novels. And so she's coming at this as a visual genius and giving us a very cool way to get into this dark, crazy world.
She's such a wonderful realizer of stories.
You know, she's just so visual. Everything about the movie has been such a strong choice, and it's been so interesting.
It's an opportunity to play with color. It's an opportunity to play with Jerry's point of view. It's the point of view of somebody who's very sick, somebody who's struggling inside with that sickness.
Those bleeding pills are rubbish.
I super hate those pills.
He sees the world as beautiful and bright and cheery, and butterflies sing to you, and everything is sort of clean and orderly and wonderful. At some point in the movie, the perspective shifts, and we see what is really around Jerry. His apartment, for instance, looks sort of like a very clean motel from the 70s when we're in one perspective. When we shift to the alternate perspective, we see what it really is, which is this kind of blood-soaked, dog crap-stained, disgusting hoarder's den. And, this is the kind of filth that Jerry really lives in, but he doesn't see that. Once Jerry takes his drugs, the world starts to look very gray and dim and dull and kind of horrific. Jerry starts to actually see reality. But as soon as he goes off them again, the world is once again restored to Jerry's perspective, which is beautiful.
Beastly drugs. They made me look like a sodding jack-o'-lantern.
You know what? And you're stinky too. But now you smell like baby shampoo. You're beautiful.
Thanks, Jerry. What a fab cracking day to come back.
Perfect day.
It's quite amazing what we're doing with visual effects. We've got severed heads in a refrigerator, so it's been a lot of fun figuring all of this out, especially talking cat and a talking dog, because we wanted it to be grounded and we want it to be real.
For the animal parts, actually, I saw lots of movies, but none of these movies, they were really convincing. This is not actually a film for children. It's not very comic, though it has lots of comedy. So the whole deal was to make animal talking in the most realistic way. My first idea was actually to choose a Labrador, because a Labrador is a dog that everybody knows. Everybody likes Labrador, is known for being a nice dog. And then suddenly, Hamish was presented to me, the dog who plays Bosco. And this dog had so much expression, he had so much, compassion. He's just like the best actor.
Hi, Jerry. Yeah. You remember last week when you said there was an invisible line that separates good from evil, and you thought you crossed it, and I said, no, you're a good boy?
Yeah, I remember. So what?
I've changed my opinion.
And then we had to choose the cat. But since the dog was so impressive in his body, and the cat is very impressive in what he's saying, we had to choose really a tiny, little, very normal cat. So we ended up with Caro, this little orange tabby cat.
Take those drugs, and you will enter a bleak and lonely world, Jerry.
We would replace the whole head of the cat or the whole head of the dog in CG to make them talk. We faced another challenge. In every scene, you could have a normal acting dog or acting cat, non-talking animal, and right after that, in the same scene, have a CG dog or a CG cat talking to the main character. So the transition between those had to be completely invisible. So we started the head reconstruction with a huge photo shooting of the cat and the dog in a white room. After that, we animated the characters in every shot according to what they had to say. It was based on Ryan's reference Ryan voices. Then we had to make the lighting to make it photorealistic and the compositing.
Actually, my favorite part with the animals is my favorite part of the film. That is the scene when Ryan and the head of Jim Arterton, Fiona, and the cat and the dog are in the same frame, and they're actually all talking together about if Ryan is a good man or not. I love this scene. I'm completely fan of that one.
But if there's me, the regular me standing here, the me who's talking now, and I want to be good, then there's you, and you trying to make me be something else. Am I good?
No. You're bad.
She's wrong. You're a good boy. They're both wrong. You are what you are.
It's a fun movie. It's an interesting movie. But it's morally ambiguous. It's not one of these homogenized serial killer movies that tells you what's right and tells you what's wrong. It's open to interpretation.
Oh, it's okay, buddy. Everything's gonna be okay. You're a good boy.
I think the unexpected aspect of it is that you feel for Jerry and you love Jerry, and that was really a lot of fun. To warn him, you're a bad person.
Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not like he killed someone.
It's an unbelievably unique, scary psychological thriller that will also make you laugh.
Hoof and hoof. Hoof and hoof. Meow. Meow. And meow. 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 Fucking meow. Did you fuck the bitch?
When you say did you fuck the bitch, can you smile at the same time like
Yeah.
you're ironic?
Yeah. Did you fuck the bitch? Did you fuck the bitch, Jerry? Did you fuck the bitch? Did you fuck the bitch, Jerry? Did you fuck her, Jerry?
Great.
Kill me. I want to die. Take a knife and cut my throat.
Oh, no, buddy. What the hell you been doing?
That's the scene in the bathtub. That is the thing that we did yesterday.
Yep.
Pretty bad situation, buddy. Pretty bad situation, buddy. Pretty bad situation, buddy.
I know.
Maybe the best thing to do is just go to the cops and explain everything.
Just tell him what happened.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
You are both so fucking naive. You go to the cops, you say, hey man, I accidentally stabbed that English chick. You think they're gonna nod and understand the way your stupid dog does? You are both so fucking naive. You go to the cops and you say, hey man, I accidentally stabbed that English chick. Oh. You think they'll all nod and understand the way your stupid dog does? There's too much fucking my voice in there, that's all I'm just trying to get rid of, that's all. But a guy who talks to his cat, well, that's just one step away from the loony bin. Find someone else, kill them, and you'll discover what it feels like to be truly alive. But killing is better than sex.
He is wrong. We're not like the pussy, Jerry. We have morals.
Oh, I said ain't in there.
He's wrong. We ain't like the pussy, Jerry. We got morals.
Jerry! Be brave, Jerry!
A little bit less speed.
Be brave, Jerry!
Where the fuck's my fucking food, fuck face? Where the fuck's my fucking food, fuck face? Where the fuck's my food, fuck face? Food! Now! I left you a little gift on the sofa. A reminder of why you can't leave us alone without food. I know what I've done. I also feel like it wasn't me.
Pretty complicated inside the human mind, huh? Pretty complicated inside the human mind, huh?
Okay, alright. Devil's advocate.
Can I get an amen?
Let's say it was me, but you know that I'm a talking cat. Everything I say is really you. Everything I say is really you.
It's true, buddy. It's all you.
What? Come on, Jerry. Jerry, Fiona, and Jerry. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Good.
It's finished.